So I'm just showing you that I have the book. I have read the book. Because a lot of people do Sunday worship. What day you worship?
What day I worship?
Yeah.
I worship every day.
The people of Solomon and Gomorrah had beds erected in the streets of the city. It says in 2:1, it tells you that the angels went before God. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Keep the Sabbath
Keep holy
day
the Sabbath.
holy.
Mm-hmm.
That's a commandment. It is the Sabbath of the Lord in all your dwelling. And the 14th day of the first month is the Lord's Passover. Right? We dealing with Bible. How you doing? How you doing? Real quick, I'm just reporting there, some things that came about, some things that I said a while back, and it's starting to get real serious right now at this point. Right now people are not taking the word of the Lord serious. I haven't been 100%, with y'all. I've been in the scriptures. I just haven't been going live. I haven't been, a lot of things I've been taking in, a lot of things that I have to kind of learn and, get understanding before I bring it forth. So I'm gonna make this real quick. I'm gonna show a video. I'm a narrate on it, and I'm out. You know, there's no time to beg or persuade anyone to do anything. You have a choice, which is free will, to do what you want to do. I'm going to put the word out there. I said it. If you hear me and comply or apply to, your settings, you should be okay. If not, that's between you and God. It's not my place to judge you in that area. Sorry, I'm a little tired. Check it out, though. So right now, I'm going to start. Let's do this here. Try to get something in right quick. Be dealing with the mark of the beast. So here, we're going to deal with, let's try to go to, let me get you over here for a second. Let's try to get to Revelation. So this is Esdras, because this is the Bible with the Apocrypha. So I want to get Revelations, I think it should be 13 and 16, right? Revelations. How do I work this thing? It's the Apocrypha. Okay, well, I'm trying to do something different, so bear with me. Okay, so we got the Revelations. I'm sorry about that. Chapter 13. I want to say, let's go to 6. See how that look. She'll be dealing with the mark of the beast. And then we'll really start for people for coming. Did I get it? See, this right here is what didn't want to have to deal with. Let's try it again. Revelations 13 and 6. Okay. Let's do it like that. Let's open it up some. Okay. Can y'all see it? And I beheld another beast coming from out the area horns. Okay, so that he went down in heaven. Okay, so let's try it like this. This look a little better. Let's start with um, let's start with 11. And I beheld another beast coming up. See, you notice that here, right here, where my right here. You see how they don't have a U in there? This is like the 1611. It's kind of harder to read, but you know, it's a, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb. It's not a Lamb, but Lambe. And he spake as a dragon. And he exercised all the powers of the first beast before him, and caused the earth and them which dwelt therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wounds was healed. And he does great wonders, so that he make fire come down from the heaven on earth in the sight of men. Then it say, and deceive them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had powers to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on earth, that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound of a sword, and did lie. Lou. Like again, bear with me with this King James. And he had the power to glue life, to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak, and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Right? Remember, this is prophecy. And he caused all both, small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. You see it right here? Give it to you right here. Actually, I wonder if I could have did like this. Okay. Okay, I'll do it like this. And he that no man buy or sell, say he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Right? Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the numbers of the beast, for is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, when I used to teach back in the day, what is a score? Anybody know what a score is? A score is 20. A score is 20. So 600, three scores. So 20 times 3 is 6 and 6. See, the King James, when you're reading it like here, I want you to understand, as I said before, a score is 20. So you have 600. That's the first 6. 3 scores, right? That's 60 and 6. So 366. I'm sorry about that. 666. Now, I showed y'all that. So this is Revelation. We understand that, the Bible, this is a 1611 King James Version with the Apocrypha. A lot of people, they don't really deal with the Apocrypha because they figure, that the books that they have is all, but no, you're missing a lot. You miss Second Esdras, which is very important. Tobit. Tobit tells you that when you pray, you're praying to the angel Raphael. Let me make sure. Hold on. Make sure I got all this in there. Hold on. That you're praying to the angel Raphael, and Raphael take your prayers before the Lord. All right. I'm just showing you in the Apocrypha. You got Judith. We understand Judith. She killed Cicero, cut his head off in the battle of the Israelites being destroyed by what is this? I'm sorry about that. Additional Esther. So you have the rest of Esther. When you read Esther, it cuts off in the regular Bible. This is the addition. Wisdom of Solomon. Now, Ecclesiastica. This is also Sirach. So if you hear Sirach, Sirach, this is the same. Ecclesiastica and Sirach is the same. So you hear either or. This in Ecclesiastes, it tells you once a person die, more than 7 days and leave it alone. You got Baruch. Now Baruch, this is not the Baruch in the you have another Baruch in the. I have a book called Pseudographica, and that Baruch is God telling him a lot of things. It's a lot of things in Baruch and Second Ezra that's very, very important to what we're going through now. So you want to read this Baruch. Let me look into. Let me look in this Baruch. And okay, so yeah, this. Okay, so yeah, okay, so this is not that Baruch. You want to read. You got first, second, and third Baruch. Third Baruch tells you about the angels praying to Michael, saying they didn't want to represent the children of earth. You'll get that in third Baruch. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that you really is going to kind of miss. You got the letter of Jeremiah, prayer of Azariah, Susanna, Bell the Dragon, this Daniel, prayer of Manasseh. We know Manasseh made the children of Israel pass through fire. He would sacrifice children in the book of Kings. This is him repenting. The Bible don't give you that. That's why you need the Apocrypha. Yes, he did sacrifice children to fire to Baal, but this is him repenting. So yes, you got first and second Maccabees. When the woman, she took her 7 children and she sacrificed them because they wouldn't eat pork. The king of that particular time, he had them sacrificed for not eating pork. So I just read Revelations with the mark of the beast for a reason, because now I want to try to get into this here, which just came about. This is very important. I'm gonna let this play. Again, this is very, very serious. This not no, hey, the sky's falling. This is very, very serious. Very, very, very serious. So let's do it like this. Hold on. Check it out. I'll be back with my commentary.
And he doesn't need money. In fact, much of what he needs to get through the day is hidden right there, just below the surface, in his hand.
You like to touch it?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh, weird. Yeah, it's like a grain of rice.
Yeah, a grain of rice.
Embedded in his hand is a microchip that serves as his keys, his ID, and his wallet.
Yeah, it's all in chip. So I use it to get around the building.
Buy snacks.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's buy some snacks. Exactly. So I can't open it.
No.
Okay.
So what I need to do is I need to first blip my chip, and it will log me in. Mm-hmm. And from there, I get access to the fridge.
Popular TV shows like Black Mirror.
Now, while back, I was trying to find that video. I said that I believe the mark of the beast is going to be linked to your cell phone. Somehow, it will be linked to your cell phone. I'm still looking for that video. Once I find that video, I will come back and I will share that with you all. But I said this maybe a year or so ago that the mark of the beast will be linked somehow to your cell phone. I just can't find that video right now.
Have imagined chips as part of a dystopian future.
Install ingrain procedure with local anesthetic and you're good to go.
In Sweden, the microchips are already here.
Revelations chapter 13 verse 16 and 17. And he calls it all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and in bondage, to receive a mark in their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell unless he got that mark or that name of the beast or the number of his name, 666. If any man worship the beast and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone. Now in the Bible it speak on the mark, but that's metaphorically for a chip. See, the new artificial intelligence is the Antichrist, but y'all ain't ready though. Listen to what I'm saying. That hand chip is called a digital ID. That chip in the head is called Neuralink, made by Satan himself, Elon Musk. Check this shit out.
Sweden just implanted microchips into people's hands, turning humans into walking wallets. No cash, no cards, no wallets. Thousands of people in Sweden have taken a bold step into the future by implanting tiny microchips under their skin. About the size of a grain of rice, these chips act as digital IDs, payment methods, and access cards, all in one, from letting them pay for coffee, unlock doors, or ride trains with just a swipe of their hand. It works much like the contactless tap we use on cards, but here, the card is under your skin. So why is this happening in Sweden? The country is already one of the most cashless societies in the world. Only about 1% of its economy runs on notes and coins, compared to 10% in Europe. Among the younger generation, almost everyone relies on apps and digital payment. Even IKEA tested going fully cash-free and discovered that hardly any customers used bills, saving staff hours of time that used to be spent counting coins. But not everyone is celebrating. Seniors and immigrants worry about being left behind, and critics warn of privacy risks if implants ever connect to health records or government IDs. Sweden is showing the world just how far digital life can go. But a question remains, would you put a chip in your hand to pay for coffee?
Now before you get on here and say, I ain't getting the mark of the beast to eat, live, spend money, earn money, travel, have kids, everything I got to do, I'm not doing it if it requires that mark. I want you to answer this question before you say that. Did you get that injection in the pandemic in order to work, travel, shop, and go to the games and the concerts back in the game? I'm talking about to go to the hospital. They made you get that buyout. Did you get that? And if you did, you more than likely gonna get that mark of the beast. Here's another question. Do you believe in the right or the left or the conservative and all this terminology they using for politics? Well, if you do, all they gonna do is stick your belief right in front of you and let them tell you that it's okay to get that chip in your hand or that mark on your forehead, which represent the beast. Here's another question you gotta ask yourself. Do you or your kids idol worship these celebrities? Everything they do or say, you go buy and get to be like the celebrity. Well, all they gonna do is stick NBA Youngboy or Taylor Swift in front of your kid, Billie Eilish, one of these people that's already working with the enemy, and let them promote the chip to your kids. And then they gonna stick Rihanna, Beyonce, Nicki Minaj, or Cardi B right in front of your ass and tell you the chip is bad bitch energy. Either way it go, you gonna get that mark of the beast if you still wanna eat, travel, have kids, and do some more shit. And if you still don't think this shit's serious, the Vietnam government just shut down 86 million bank accounts overnight for not complying with their digital ID mandates in their country. Check this shit out.
Now, in the coming years, all shall receive the mark. The mark has already started in implication. Are we all aware of the mark? If not, please educate yourselves. In the mark of the beast, refusers of it shall not be able to buy or sell. They shall become beggars, cut out of the system, and that will be the pure delight. For they will be the wise. We brothers will never have the mark, for we will know that it really is control, and we cannot be controlled as we are the controllers. The mark will be the connection between AI, direct connections, free will, dependent on the algorithm. You see, at the moment, man has free will. It was given to him by God. That gives him the right to choose. Well, once we give him the mark, that free will belong to us. We will be able to track his movements, his body, his money. His decisions will be monitored 24/7. We will replace his God. A central computer that gathers all his data, from the smartphone to the mark. Now I will detail how all of you will slowly start to implement this technology.
Now this shit is deeper than rap.
You know, as I said before, And that's why the Bible said once you take that mark, you have chosen. Your free will is actually cut off from you and the Lord. You will go directly to hell. You have chosen who you are siding with. You understand? You'll be able to be controlled. And that is not just saying because you financially is, in the grid, but I'm believing this chip, is under some type of hypnosis that, you got people, the woman that shot her children up and called the police and saying they were Satan. She waited at the Shell gas station, I think Texas somewhere. And, like she had no idea what she was doing. It's like, usually the colored people don't do things like that. We don't shoot our kids, our children, and call the police and wait on the police to come saying they were Satan. That's just something that's not in our history. There's a lot of things going on. Daughters killing their moms. My guy, what's the guy was? That was So You Think You Can Dance. I believe he walked in front of a train a month or so ago and killed himself. Like, people don't do things like that. Remember, it's getting very serious, but I'm going to continue.
The enemy is on land and he using technology to manipulate and control your soul. Over 30,000 people have implanted the chip in their hand in Sweden. And those same 30,000 people just lost their eternal salvation, sold their soul for convenience. This is evil. And if you think this ain't gonna happen in the U.S., you sleep. It's already in the state of Utah. Their governor just approved the digital ID mandate. Jesus is coming back. The end is near. So prepare now for hunger. Prepare to struggle. Prepare to go through the worst times you ever seen in your life for a short time. Only come and tell you why. Within 5 to 7 years when that started, Jesus coming back. So prepare now, man. That's why they cutting your food supply and your Section 8 voucher. That's why they cutting all that, because they preparing you. That's why you got to get mentally prepared and stay up under a bridge if you have to. Don't let them people put that shit in you, man, because they looking to create slaves that are forced to do whatever they tell you to do in order to survive and stay alive in this economy. And get that mark of the beast. Trust in God. He'll protect you. He'll provide for you. And he gonna help you survive and stay alive. Share this video before they take it down. And please stay to the end. I'm about to roll some clips out that's gonna show you just how serious this shit is. Check this shit out.
Digital ID. It is the end game for the elites. This is game, set, match. This is checkmate of the elites against us. This is game over. One click, you get denied on anything. This is not just a picture ID, right? This is going to be a face scan, an iris scan, fingerprinting. It's going to hold all of your online activity, your passport, your bank account, your health records, taxes, your travel. I mean, take a look at this clip from Keir Starmer, who announced in the UK about their digital ID.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
I don't know if you can get any more arrogant and pompous with that British accent than he is, but he definitely was a little bit more stern and subdued, didn't have that pep in his step, like maybe, after taking a line or two with Macron on the train, he didn't have the white powder this time, but he has the power to implement that all across the UK, and the UK will be feeling it very soon, very harsh. Digital ID is not in the US yet, but it is almost inevitable that it will come at some point. And so it will have to be mass non-compliance. You will have to create your own networks of people. You will have to try to be, off grid if you can. Digital ID, that is the net. That is the trap for enslavement of the people. You will have to think the way they want you to think. You will have to say what they want you to say. George Orwell warned us all about this. Read 1984. All right, this is Big Brother, big time. You step out of line of whatever regime is in power, you're shut down. They'll shut down your bank account. They will shut down your online access. You won't be able to buy or sell. Sound familiar? It is being implemented in different countries: Estonia, Denmark, India, Singapore, Sweden, Australia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Germany, now the UK. It'll eventually come for us. It will come here. The enslavement of the population, this is not hyperbole. When they have full control digitally of everything that you are and that you can do online, they will shut you down when you step out of line. Goodbye freedom of speech. Goodbye freedom of movement. If they pass a law that says you can only have so much meat a week, goodbye ability to buy what you want at the grocery store. This is serious. This isn't doomsday, oh, the sky is falling. No, this is real. This is happening. This will come to us. Pay attention.
So people keep asking me, what's the big problem with digital ID? Everything's already digital for us. That's not what digital ID means. Digital ID doesn't mean everything will be online or digital. It means that everything that you have right now will be encompassed under one digital ID that is governed by one entity, and that it can be shut off whenever they wanted to. So I found this picture on the World Economic Forum. I've already done a video on this using this exact same picture, but I will try and explain it a little better. So if you look at this wheel, this is everything that they want to encompass under the digital ID. And the dangers of that is because that means they will override the authorities that already govern some of these separately. So for example, you have a driver's license that's being monitored by the Department of Transportation. So for example, if you get a speeding ticket, they can't just go and cut off your cell phone or cut off your bank account until you pay it. With digital IDs, they can do that. So same thing with healthcare, right? Right now you have a health card that is being governed by the Department of Health. Well, if this comes in, they will just bypass that. So what they want to encompass in all of this is healthcare. Financial services such as banks. You will not be able to get in your bank, use your money if you do not get digital ID. Food and sustainability. Somehow they think that, you know, digital IDs will help farmers produce better. No, it's just going to monitor them. Travel and mobility. You will not be able to book or fly or anything without this, so that they can monitor exactly where you are at all times. Humanitarian response. They're saying that in case something happens, it'll be easier to find you. Bullshit. They're just wanting to monitor you at all times. E-commerce. You will not be able to sell, buy, or anything if you do not have this. Social media platforms. You will not be able to log on to social media, no more fake accounts, if you do not have this. E-government, taxes, voting, EI, all of those things you will not be able to actually get if you do not have this thing. Telecommunications, cell phones, same thing. Smart cities, and that's where it gets dangerous. I can do a completely separate thing on that, but it's complete control because it says it's pretty much going to siphon data and see your energy usage, your utility usage, and traffic congestion. Now, if you add CBDCs to that, meaning the digital currency, they have absolutely all control over everything that you do, buy, say, you know, own, everything. That's the dangers of it. So right now, if you get a speeding ticket, they can't just cut off your cell phone. With digital ID, if you get a speeding ticket, they can cut off your cell phone. And then they can track and monitor you, and they can also add carbon credits to your life based on how you shop and how you do this. This is to control the populace and basically corral the sheep into behaving exactly how they want you to behave. Otherwise, they cut you off from the rest of the world. And we've seen the Canadian government do this during the trucker protest when they cut off bank accounts. Completely illegal, and they've done it again since. But I guess some of the liberal dummies didn't realize that.
So here's the thing. We got less than 5 years to stop them, or we'll never have another chance. Agenda 2030 isn't some conspiracy theory. It's written down, and it's written in their words. They come right out and they tell us exactly what they're going to do. It's a one world government, one world cashless currency, one world central bank, one world military, social credit scores that the government can use to turn off your bank account. Vietnam just deleted 86 million bank accounts of people who refused to get their digital ID. They just deleted them. Wonder where that money went. If you're not paying attention, you probably don't know that England England is putting people in prison for social media posts like memes and fucking comments. This is the trajectory that we're headed. Dude just got put in federal prison in England for saying that he didn't want his tax dollars prioritizing illegal immigrants instead of being used for the betterment of his own countrymen. Listen, if you don't start standing up and saying something like I am, this will be the end of national sovereignty. It will be the end of privately owned property. They're literally telling people in other countries that if you don't accept digital IDs, you're going to be excluded from society. That's what they're telling them. That means they won't allow you to board a train, to get on a plane, to go to work. They won't allow you to do the things that you would normally do if you don't accept their digital ID. I'm telling you that they won't allow you to pay your fucking mortgage without providing them a digital ID number. They'll take away your home for non-compliance. They'll disallow or remove your children from school. This isn't a joke. This is what's happening right now. We have less than 5 years to do something about it. If you don't recognize how serious this is, you're not paying attention. This is what they're doing. They won't allow you to register your cars. They'll turn you away from medical care. And they'll do all this while they're telling you that you're not being forced to do anything. It's your choice, right? Like it was your choice 5 years ago with the jab. Remember that? This is how they institute the new normal. This is how they end the family unit. This is how they force mandatory schmaccinations. This is how they introduce universal basic income. This is how they introduce microchipping, a global credit system. This is what they want. This is what they're building right now. And they're coming right out and they're telling you. Thousands of 5G towers, the end of private transportation, the end of private farms, businesses run by the government, travel restrictions, restricted land use. You think this is far-fetched? Take a look around and wake the fuck up. They already tested it in 2020 with the lockdowns, restrictions, fear campaigns, government-run media, and most people complied without a second thought. That was the dress rehearsal. That was the warm-up round. 2030 is their final act. But here's the thing. It was all supposed to go down in 2015, but they missed their deadline, so they pushed it back to 2020. Then they missed that too. And what does that tell you? See, it tells me that we're much more fierce of an opponent than they ever realized. They didn't account for level-headed, logical thinking, like-minded brothers like us to dig our heels in and say, fuck you, but it's not good enough. And their efforts will only get more aggressive, more pronounced, and more relentlessly egregious towards dissenters. And here's the truth. If we don't fight back now, if we don't raise our voices, if we don't refuse to comply, if we don't build strength and unity in our own communities, then when the curtain drops, it's over. We won't get another chance. This is bigger than politics. This is about freedom. This is about sovereignty. This is about whether your kid and your grandkids get to live free or as digital slaves in a system own them.
What we're seeing today is what I call turnkey totalitarianism. They are putting in place all of these technological mechanisms for control we've never seen before. It's been the ambition of every totalitarian state from the beginning of mankind to control every aspect of behavior, of conduct, of thought, and to obliterate dissent. None of them have been able to do it. They didn't have the technological capacity. Today, the mechanisms are being put in place that will make it so none of us can run and none of us can hide. Within 5 years, we're going to see 415,000 low-orbit satellites. Bill Gates says his 65,000 satellites alone will be able to look at every square inch of the planet 24 hours a day. Digital currency that will allow them to punish us from a distance and cut off our food supply. Every right that you have is transformed into a privilege contingent upon your obedience to arbitrary government dictates. It will make you a slave. And what do we do about this? What do? We resist. I'm going to tell you 3 rules that you all need to know and memorize. Number 1, every power that government takes from us, it will never relinquish voluntarily. Number 2, every power they take from us, they will ultimately abuse to the maximum extent possible. Number 3, nobody in history of the planet has ever complied their way out of totalitarian control. Every capitulation is a signal to the oppressors to impose new forms of torment or torture or compliance or obedience. Every time you comply, you get weaker. Bullies cannot be appeased. It just encourages them to new forms of torture and torment.
So that's kind of where we at with it. So number one, the Bible does says that you can't buy, you can't sell. I don't think a lot of people that's doing a lot of talking, they don't really get it. They don't understand. When they say you can't buy, you can't sell, what are you going to do? If you took the vaccine shot, 9 times out of 10, you will be one that will get this microchip. It's going to control everything that you own, everything that you do. You have people that they just cut off SNAP's benefit for the month of November, and people's going crazy talking about looting. When you depend, let me tell you something. If they can feed you, they can starve you. Never depends on anything. Depend on God. And all of you out here that's saying, you know, that you're going to walk and stand with Christ, we're going to see. You're the same people that were saying that before the pandemic hit. When the pandemic hit, and they saying that you can't work unless you take this, you know, vaccine, you took it. Tell me where I have to work. And most of you that took that vaccine is not even working at that place right now. You're not even working at the place right now that you decided to take the vaccine and sacrifice your temple, you know. So, you know, this will be something permanent. If you have a passport, as he said, that will be transferred over to digital currency. If you have, you know, a lot of money in a bank, don't matter where you have money at, you know, the world will operate in crypto. So you will have like a deadline to transfer all your money over to crypto, or you will lose that money. Same in Chicago, there was a system with the Chicago Transit Authority, the CTA. What ended up happening was that what ended up what ended up happening was they gave us a deadline to turn in the they kind of had some tokens. They had the small ones and they had the gold ones, kind of bigger. And what happened? They gave us a deadline to turn them tokens in. They said by this date, this will no longer be any good. You know, it's the same thing's going to happen with the money. You know, if you got 20,000 stashed under your mattress or whatever, or in the old sock somewhere, that had to be transferred over to digital or cryptocurrency because it would no longer. It would be a cashless system, as he said they done in Sweden. This is serious. You know, if they doing it in 11 countries right now, how soon before it get to the United States? You know, the Bible says Jacob seek a sign, but the Greeks seek wisdom. What that means is the Greek, Esau, white people, in so many words, when they get information, they get in front of it. You know, we don't get in front of anything. We wait till things happen. And then once that happens, then we try to prepare. You know, the Edomites, Esau, the white people, the Greeks, Romans, whatever, they build bunkers. They store water, food. You know, they get guns, and you know they shelter. You know, they leave wealth for their children. You know, college funds. They put money up for a rainy day. Not us. You know, we don't do anything. As the minute one of our people die, we online talking about a GoFundMe. You know, we just don't prepare. You know what I'm saying, the proper way. This would be serious. You know, I was saying something about a 5-point system, I believe, a while back. I need to find that. Like I said, I got a lot of videos, but I believe it was something like everything would be within a maybe a 5-10 block radius. You have the gym around here. You have your local grocery store here. You know, the jobs will be here. You'll be mostly riding bikes. You understand? And again, to operate these bikes, these new school bikes that you have with the credit card, again, it'll be the chip you use in your hand. So they really trying to make it like we're not going to pollute the air or whatever with You know, that's why they want Elon Musk and Trump fell out. He wanted to go everything electric. You know what I mean? Trump didn't really want to. It's kind of sort of the fallout. So I want you to understand, once you get in this 5-point system that they're talking about, believe it will go like this in some form. So like right now in Chicago, the gas, let's say, is $3.69 a gallon. I can drive maybe 4 or 5 miles to Indiana to where the gas is $2.59, or Melrose Park where it might be $3.05. You know, you're saving 60, 70 cents on a gallon. It's kind of a lot of money if you're getting 20, 30 gallons. You know what I'm talking about? You add the little money up. It's, you know, for 15, 20 bucks somewhere savings, you know, that can go towards your gas tank. You understand? So what's going to happen is, like right now, I can go to anywhere and I can, you know, buy food, I can buy gas. But once that system pop in, this I think it's called a 5-point system. Look it up. It's online. It's online. So now it's going to base off zip code. So now that they have the mark in place, what's going to end up happening? Now I can go to Indiana and I say, hey, give me 10 on pump, 5. And what's they going to happen is, once I scan whatever the chip that they give people, it's going to come up that you can only shop within your zip code, your area code type. These is the radius that you can shop at, because we only have so much for these people here. So if Chicago got 3 million people, Indiana only got 1 million people, we can't have you coming over here because you're taking the sources, the food sources, the water away from the people that's here. We give, because they got to supply it. So we're okay, these many people, we need to supply this, because it's going to come on the basis, as he said, to where, like right now, I can go to the grocery store, Walmart, and I can go get me 10 cases of water, unlimited. That's not going to happen. You'll be able to get, maybe based on your family, 1 case of water, 2 cases of water with 30 cents, and you have to start, because they don't want you to have so much. So if you get out of line, you'll be able to still eat and drink. You'll be stored up. It's not, no, it's going to be on as you seen the movie with Justin Timberlake, Out of Time. To where if you got to go work, you work for a week, and they'll put 2 weeks, of life on your hand. Look at that in some sense. You'll be supplied only so much to where you can move forward. You're not going to be able to just go out there and go crazy and buy anything that you want. That's not going to be able to happen at all. You will only be able to buy based on what's allowed. And remember, they're controlling everything. They have your money, everything. So they can say, yeah, we see last week, Mr. Smith, that you bought a case of water, and and you trying to go again within the same week and get another case. If you do this again, we probably have to shut you down as a punishment for 2 weeks. You know what I'm talking about? To where you can't do any shopping. And now you're going to be looking for somebody else, like, hey, can you give me a case of water? But they're going to be in the same boat. Like, well, I bought my water for this week. I can give you a water too. That's not going to be able to, that's not going to be able to sustain too much longer, as far as you're going to have to comply. So you just really have to, really stand strong. Stock up now. Stock up now. They saying within 5 years. I heard it's going to be in 2027. That's what I heard. They saying within 5 years. I heard it's going to be within 2027. So we're talking about a year, maybe, and some change. So don't sit back and be like, you don't understand what's going on, because no, it's very, very serious. If you go online, remember, with this here, as he said, the chip control everything, your money, your social media, your cell phone. I said before, as I said, the cell phone is going to be kind of linked to the mark of the beast. It's going to be a system to where, you have to log in with your cell phone. So if they shut your cell phone off, then you won't be able to log in with the chip, because as you see the guy, and this is real time. You go back to the beginning of the video. As you see the guy, he said, let me activate the chip. He got his phone, and he kind of activated the chip. You know what I'm talking about? And then he was able to beep, beep, do that. So if they shut your phone off, you know, you can't activate the chip. So I'm kind of, and I need to find this video because I spoke on this. So I'll have to, you know, it might take me some time, but I will give you an update once I do find that video. I already spoke on this before this came about, you know, and I'm saying that, you know, maybe God spoke to me, maybe not, but I did say it's going to have to be something based with your cell phone, you know. That's, you know, get you some walkie-talkies, some old school walkie-talkies. These for the people who won't comply. Get you some walkie-talkies and, you know, some analog walkie-talkies. Buy you a camper, because that's where you'll be sleeping. You'll no longer be able to sleep in your house comfortably. You'll have to be sleeping in your camper and try to go somewhere nice like Florida, you know, so you won't freeze to death. You know, you know, it's time to start planning now. They say plan ahead. It wasn't raining when Noah built the ark. And this is just a update biblical lesson. You know, it's not going to be the scriptures. I get into the scriptures probably maybe Wednesday or so. Then again on the Sabbath. You know, I've been like going through some things, like I say, within myself. You know, but I'm back to bring the word, you know, to you all, or whatever. Again, I'm just bringing this update to you. You know, want y'all to really, 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 really take this serious. You know, the videos that I'm doing right now, that's going to be out the window. There won't be none of that. You know, you won't be able to shop online. So you want to order something online, a book or something, that's not happening. Everything that you need to do, it's a time frame on that. The clock is ticking. You know, there's not no more, you know, American dream. You know, go to college. You know, get a career, get a house, dog, get married, and live happy out after. Them days are over with. If you have a degree, you know, if you want a person that's trying to go to school and you get a degree, that's not going to matter either. You know, because with that being said, again, your degree is going to be worthless. You can have 10 years of school and want to make $200,000 a year. It don't matter what happened. Anything that you do moving forward will be based on that chip. That's what I'm telling you. So you got some decisions to make. You know, think hard, think long. You know, another thing I want to say, if you have any children, when the children are born, mandatory that chip will be inserted in them. Mandatory. They forehead, they're going to be born. So a lot of the children that's being born is already going to be born with the chip. If you go to jail, you know, one of the requirements in order to get parole, you know, you will have to take that chip because, again, they have to watch every move that you make. So if you're trying to get parole before you leave the jail, you have to get the chip so you can be monitored. We don't need to put a house arrest ban on you anymore. You have to be chipped. So don't commit no crimes, in other words, because you'll spend the rest of your life in jail unless you get that chip. It's just that simple. You will die in jail unless you get that chip. You know, things will become mandatory. All your free will will be gone. It's pretty much gangster stuff after that. I think I was going to speak on something else. Yeah, I probably covered everything. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on with, you know, this mark thing. You know, your money will be no longer any good. So yeah, the jail system would actually do that. Now, keep in mind, if you someone that's on the run, you know, from the government, you did anything, the feds, FBI, police looking for you, they will be able to find you. And that's really the whole thing behind it. They need to know where you at all times. So, oh yeah, we have a location on, you know, Mr. Johnson. You know, Mr. Johnson, you know, is wanted for fraud or for murder or rape. Yeah, we know where he at. They will come get you. You will not be able to hide. They will come and get you. I work for Amazon, and they got like 28 cameras in the car. You can't do anything. When I tell you it's very uncomfortable, it's very uncomfortable. I work for Amazon Prime, and you driving a truck, and I drove like, the speed limit was like 55 on the expressway. I was doing 60, 65, and it started, beep. They sent the signal to the main office, and I got a phone call. Said, yeah, we got alert that you were speeding. You was doing 55. And I looked at my phone, it scans you. And like, yeah, it's called an infraction. And they telling me that you had an infraction. You looked at your cell phone, that's unsafe. Everything that you did inside that truck, was being monitored. It's, when I tell you it's very, very, very uncomfortable, I worked out 3 days and quit. It was unbearable. Once I got back in my car, then you feel comfortable. You understand how important your freedom is until you lose it. Now, if you get this chip, you're done. You might as well just comply and do whatever, because you're not going to be able to make it to happen. And the way he going to treat you like you are a goofy. So think hard and think smart. If you don't believe in God, you better start. Because, again, if they're looking for you, they can just send somebody to execute you. It don't have to be people. They will have machines that would come. I forget what movie it was that I was looking at. It's some movie I watched when I was locked up in prison. But they have machines that will come, like he said, the lower level orbit satellites. They're gonna have drones that will come and take you out. It will know where you at. You know what I'm saying? They'll type in where you at. That drone will come and it will get you out the way. It will get you out the way. So I'm just saying, you better think what you're about to do. I said it. Man, y'all make yourself like and subscribe to the video. If you have any questions in the comments, I do check comments. I will reply. You know what I'm saying? I see you in a few days with my lesson.